In a world seemingly connected like never before, a hidden battle rages on, one that often remains invisible, tucked away behind cheerful selfies and carefully curated feeds. In this video, I want to talk about the explosive rise in mental health issues in modern culture, plus some symptoms to maybe help us understand this better. Maybe you could be suffering with it right now, who knows? Maybe I am. And perhaps some solutions to this clearly urgent crisis. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I just wanted to make a quick video about mental health and its rise in modern culture. Lots of people are going through this, let's be honest. It could be one of your friends, one of your family members, one of your loved ones. It touches a lot of people's lives. So I want to talk about some of the symptoms of poor mental health and ways to combat your own poor mental health. Guys, you know, as I've stated many times on this channel, that I'm sober, I'm in recovery, and I'm living a sober life. So while that may necessarily not be necessary in order for you to live a good life, I recommend that if you are suffering with mental health, to wipe the slate clean, so to speak. You need to sort of clear your head, your mind, and your body. It needs to be as clean as possible before you can fully address this properly. So I've broken this down into 4 segments: physical symptoms, behaviors, thoughts, and feelings. Some of the physical symptoms of poor mental health. So you might just be feeling generally unwell, or extremely run down, have incredibly low energy, regardless of how much you might do in a day. So this is not like just general tiredness. I mean like extreme lethargy. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping, even though you're extremely lethargic, and you're just unable to switch off at bedtime. Could suffer from a loss of appetite, which is another symptom of poor mental health. Again, that could lead to weight loss, and also depression, another symptom. Even be experiencing muscle pains, not like the muscle pains you get when you're finished at the gym. I mean like an achy body, So these are some of the physical symptoms. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because when I was writing this video, I saw there's so much of this stuff which just applies to literally every person you probably know, So I did think, are we all suffering with symptoms of mental health in some way, shape or form, and we just fail to realise? Or, I don't want to be insensitive, but are all these things just normal, everyday occurrences for most people, and we're just blowing them out of proportion? Do you know what I mean? Okay, so the next segment is behaviours. You might become more like withdrawn from others. So you just want to spend time on your own. You don't want to be around people. I don't mean like being alone when you're working or you need to get shit done, or I mean you just don't want to be around anyone. I've definitely felt like that before. Maybe you're just incapable of getting things done, or you're having trouble concentrating. Maybe you've started consuming more drugs and alcohol. Again, like that's probably everything I've stated so far is probably like 65 to 75% of all the people I've ever known. That's how common this stuff is. Now, moving on to thoughts. Now, you will generally have negative thoughts, negative thought processes. You will think things like, my life isn't worth living, I'm a failure, good things never happen to me. And you'll be having thoughts like that a majority of the time, or more than a majority of the time. Again, how many times have you thought thoughts like that before? Be honest with yourself. I know I have 100%, like way too many to count. I think a lot of people have thoughts like these. And the last segment is feelings. Maybe you're feeling like overwhelmed, unhappy, irritable, frustrated, indecisive, or maybe you're lacking confidence. Again, all of these things incredibly common. I know for a fact that anybody watching this can relate to at least a few of those symptoms. I know I can. And sometimes, very, very rarely, I still might, if I don't keep myself in check and have a system put in place. So let's go over this all again, and I'll share some of the things that have really, really helped me. Now, again, I'm not trying to be insensitive to anyone, but if this is you that's suffering with this shit right now, you cannot live like this. And it's you who has to do something about it. So the physical symptoms, tiredness, extreme lethargy, low energy, you need to start doing something. Whether it's a walk out of the house in nature, maybe it's going for a jog, fucking get a gym membership. You need to do something. The thing is, with energy, the more you use, the more you make. The more you do, the more you are able to do. So if you are really suffering with low energy, you need to just do more. I know it sounds really stupid, but fact. You have to do something to increase your energy levels at the end of the day. So maybe you have some difficulty sleeping. Let me give you a quick story. So when I was trying to quit smoking weed, and this was a troubling time anyway, do you know what I mean? I felt like super depressed. I was giving up this substance that I've been using as a crutch for fucking over 2 decades. And I was having real trouble sleeping, as I'm sure most of you will know. When you smoke weed, you can just pass out like a light. But, you know, I tried so hard to stop smoking weed, but I just could not get to sleep. I could not get to sleep. So rather than get like a strong medication from the doctor, I went down to the supermarket, I went down to Asda, and I picked up some herbal nitols. Now, they're herbal, so, you know, they're all natural ingredients. And they worked a charm. I was able to get to sleep again normally, you know, and that craving for weed as well went within like 2 weeks. Not only do they help you drift off to sleep, but when you wake up, you feel alert as well. So for anyone that is struggling to sleep, I 100%, or actually anyone who is struggling to quit smoking weed and is worried about getting to sleep, I recommend that you go down to your nearest supermarket and pick up some herbal nitol. It has to be the herbal ones. You won't look back, trust me. So a loss of appetite. Again, with your increased activity, if you're going jogging or going out for a long walk in nature or going to the gym, you will get more hungry as well. So that's going to really help with a loss of appetite. You do more stuff, you will become hungry. It's natural. You're going to use energy. You're going to need to put more energy in to refuel. And if you have trouble actually eating, or, you know, maybe you get up in the morning, you don't have much of an appetite, you can't be fucked to make something. I don't like eating first thing in the morning, like cooking a meal, do you know what I mean? Or like making breakfast. Like, I always have a shake for breakfast. So actually, matter of fact, I'll pin a recipe for like 1,000 calorie shake into the comments of this video. So after you've watched it, go and check that out. But yeah, you can place the meals that you don't normally like to eat or cook with a shake, and you can get your calories in that way. That really helps. So your behaviors, and, you know, if you're withdrawing away and sort of locking yourself away, becoming a bit of a hermit, what you need to do is reach out to someone, just like a phone call to a relative, or, you know, a friend, somebody that you can just call. If you don't want to go out and socialize, that's fine. To begin with, obviously you need a healthy social life, it's healthy. But to begin with, just pick up the phone and speak to someone. So if you're someone who is struggling to get things done and you're just feeling low, or you're depressed and you can't motivate yourself to do stuff, just try setting yourself one simple task to do every day, no matter what. It might be making that phone call, you know, it can be anything. Just start with something really small, just one simple task that you can do every single day. You know, maybe you can take up that enjoyable activity that you stopped doing when you started feeling shit about yourself, and just start doing that again. You know, it's important to do the things that you enjoy, so you shouldn't stop doing them. If you've increased your drug and alcohol consumption, again, and you're super struggling with that, you need to reach out to some people, either a doctor, a therapist, or a drug fellowship, and start getting yourself the help that you need. I mean that for the type of person who has tried to quit drink or drugs multiple times and has failed, and it weighs on them. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people, they use differently. Some people can go out and have 1 pint and just go home after that. If you have noticed that you're not that sort of person and you have tried to stop multiple times but you've been incapable, then you definitely need to reach out to someone and get some help. So as far as negative thoughts and feelings, this might seem a bit soft or woo-woo or airy-fairy, whatever you want to call it, but doing gratitude lists and writing affirmations, this shit really fucking works. I'm sorry, but it does. If you do it every day, it sort of drips into your subconscious, and it does definitely help to change your thoughts, thus your feelings, over time. So start off just by, if you're really struggling, just write one thing that you feel grateful for. It could be for having a roof over your head, it could be for having food in your cupboards. Try to think of everything and understand, no matter how bad shit seems here, somewhere else, somebody has it way, way, way worse than we do. Writing affirmations, it could be something like, I'm so thankful that I have a roof over my head. I'm blessed to have food in my cupboards. I'm lucky to be alive. And with your feelings as well, think of them as like a compass, do you know what I mean? It's sort of like a signal. If you're not feeling good, then that is telling you that something's wrong, basically, and something has to change. If you think, times when you're having an enjoyable experience, everything's good, isn't it? It feels good. So you can sort of rest assured that whatever it is that you're doing at that time is the right thing to do. Obviously not drinking drugs, do you know what I mean? But I'm talking about times that make you laugh, times that make you smile. So by that same token, when shit's happening that doesn't sit right with you, that's a signal for you to switch something up. Maybe start doing something differently.